Hey adventurers, have you ever had a character die due to some really bad luck in battle? Or maybe you made a risky move that didn't pay off. Losing a character can be devastating, ruining all the hard work you put into leveling them up. Luckily, there's a spell that can save you from the frustrations of an untimely permanent death. Revivify. In this video, I'll be covering everything you need to know to master Revivify and laugh in the face of fate when she comes knocking too soon. Revivify. Explain, so what exactly does Revivify do? In short, it allows you to bring someone back to life who died within the last minute. Now I know a minute might not sound like a lot of time, but in the middle of combat, it's an eternity. As an action, you touch the fallen creature, use 300 GP worth of diamonds, say the verbal components, do the somatic gestures, and BAM! They spring back to life with one hit point, bypassing the whole death-saving throw countdown. It's like hitting an undo button on their death, but there are some limits. For one, Revivify can't bring back someone who died of old age, and it can't regrow any missing body parts. So if someone got disintegrated, no amount of diamonds are putting those molecules back together. Who gets Revivify? Alright, so who actually has access to this fabulous resurrection spell? Well, clerics get it automatically as part of their spell list. Paladins and artificers can grab it at level 9, and bards and druids can learn it through special class features. So while not every class gets Revivify, most parties will have at least one spellcaster capable of using it by 5th or 9th level. And there are some subclasses like Divine Soul Sorcerer that grant Revivify access too. The point is, someone in your group should definitely look into picking it up. Conserving spell slots. Now being a level 3 spell, you need a 3rd level slot available to cast Revivify. Spell slots are a precious resource, so you want to be smart about saving one for an emergency. Here are some tips. When preparing spells in the morning, balance utility with power. Don't burn all your 3rd level slots on stuff you might not need. Consider designating a Revivify caster for the day, someone who holds a level 3 slot in reserve. Use spell recovery potions and abilities to get expended high-level slots back if needed, and at the end of deadly battles, try to still have a 3rd level slot unused, so Revivify is ready just in case. It takes some self-control and coordination, but with practice, you'll get the hang of keeping a Revivify up your sleeve. Ideal uses. So when should you actually use your Revivify? Ideal circumstances are in combat when an ally suddenly drops unconscious or dies. It invalidates a bad luck death-saving throw. On fallen NPCs, you want to keep around longer for whatever reason. Any situation basically where someone kicked the bucket, very recently, it buys them more time.
So when should you actually use your Revivify? Ideal circumstances are in combat when an ally suddenly drops unconscious or dies. It invalidates a bad luck death-saving throw. On fallen NPCs, you want to keep around longer for whatever reason. Any situation basically where someone kicked the bucket very recently, it buys them more time. Now, because of the one minute limitation, you need to act fast when revivifying in combat. Note what round they went down, keep close track of time, and be ready to spring into action. Also protect those bodies. Enemies will try to disrupt your corpses to prevent revivals. Control the battlefield so you don't lose access, and have backup plans like teleporting bodies away if you need to. Besides just bringing your friends back to life, creative DMs and players have found some really cool uses for Revivify, like briefly reviving defeated villains to interrogate them, using it on dead NPCs to gather eyewitness accounts and clues, reviving someone just long enough to use their skills and expertise, or even taking a mulligan if you accidentally revive the big bad. Since they'll be at 1 GP, just smite them right back down. So don't limit yourself to conventional applications, get clever with Revivify. Now eventually you'll get access to stronger resurrection magic than Revivify. Spells like Raise Dead last longer but come with drawbacks. And Reincarnate brings people back in totally new forms. But especially at lower levels, Revivify can't be beat for quickly undoing a tragic combat death. So even as your options expand, keep it handy for occasional emergencies. Alright guys, that wraps up my Revivify tips and tricks. I hope this gave you some ideas for keeping your characters alive even when the dice say otherwise. Revivify is seriously a lifesaver. Just be sure to stock up on diamonds every chance you get. And maybe give a cut to your cleric for their trouble. Let me know down below if you have any other cool uses for Revivify in your games. And until next time, may your Revivify checks always succeed.